Welcome to our channel. Get ready for a world of amazing stories and fun adventures.
Once upon a time, in a peaceful pond surrounded by lush green trees, there lived a duck named Daisy. Daisy was a beautiful duck with glossy feathers and a bright orange beak. But despite her beauty, Daisy had a flaw. She was very greedy. One sunny morning, Daisy was paddling around the pond when she noticed a basket of breadcrumbs floating near the shore. The basket belonged to a kind farmer who often fed the ducks in the pond. Usually, Daisy would share the crumbs with her friends, but today she wanted them all for herself. Daisy quickly swam over to the basket and began gobbling up the breadcrumbs as fast as she could. She didn't care about the other ducks calling out to her, asking for a share. All she could think about was eating as much as possible before anyone else could. As Daisy continued to eat, she noticed something shiny in the water nearby. It was a reflection of a large pile of breadcrumbs, much bigger than the one in the basket. Daisy's eyes grew wide with greed. She thought, if I can get those crumbs, I'll have more than anyone else. Without hesitation, Daisy left the basket and swam toward the reflection. But no matter how far she swam, the pile of breadcrumbs seemed to stay just out of reach. Daisy paddled faster and faster, desperate to get to the crumbs. Eventually, Daisy became so tired that she could barely keep herself afloat. She finally realized that the pile of breadcrumbs was just a reflection of the basket she had left behind. Exhausted and hungry, Daisy looked back to see that the other ducks had finished all the crumbs in the basket. With nothing left to eat, Daisy slowly made her way back to the shore, feeling foolish and ashamed. She had been so greedy that she ended up with nothing at all. From that day on, Daisy learned to be content with what she had and to share with others. Though Daisy never found another basket of breadcrumbs as full as the one she lost, she became happier and more generous, knowing that it was better to share and be kind than to be greedy and alone. Moral: greed can lead to loss, and it's better to share and be content with what you have than to chase after more and end up with nothing.
Welcome to our channel. Get ready for a world of amazing stories and fun adventures. Deep in the heart of a lush green forest, there lived a little turtle named Timmy. Timmy was small but brave and always curious about the world around him. He loved to explore, but he was also aware of the dangers lurking in the forest.
What a beautiful day. I wonder what new adventures await me today.
As Timmy ventured out of his cozy home, he came across a baby rabbit named Rosie, who seemed lost and frightened.
Excuse me, have you seen my family? I can't find them anywhere.
Don't worry, Rosie. I'll help you find them. Let's look for clues together.
What if we never find them?
We will, Rosie. We just need to be brave and keep looking.
Timmy and Rosie searched high and low, calling out for Rosie's family. They followed a trail of bunny footprints, which led them to a tricky river crossing.
How will we get across? The current is so strong.
Let me go first. I can swim well. Hold on tight to my shell and I'll help you across.
Timmy bravely swam across the river with Rosie holding onto his shell. Together, they made it safely to the other side. As they entered the meadow, they heard familiar voices calling out for Rosie.
Rosie, where are you?
Mama, Papa, I'm here. Timmy, help me find you.
Rosie's family rushed over, hugging her tightly and thanking Timmy for his bravery.
Thank you, Timmy. You are a true hero.
I'm just glad Rosie is safe and happy.
Thank you for being so brave, Timmy. You taught me that even small creatures can do great things.
And you showed me that it's important to help others, no matter how big or small the challenge.
From that day on, Timmy and Rosie remained the best of friends, always ready to help each other and face new adventures together. Moral of the story. The story of Timmy the brave little turtle teaches us that bravery and kindness go a long way. No matter how small we are, we can achieve great things by helping others and staying brave in the face of challenges.
In a peaceful forest, there stood 3 tall trees named Oak, Pine, and Willow. They were the best of friends, and each had something special that made them unique. Oak was the strongest tree in the forest. His thick branches and sturdy trunk made him a safe home for many animals, like squirrels and birds. He provided shade for the forest floor, and his leaves were perfect for sheltering everyone from the rain. Pine was the tallest tree. His pointed needles and pine cones reached high into the sky. Pine loved to feel the wind rustling through his branches, and during the winter, his evergreen needles stayed green when all the other trees lost their leaves. Pine provided a warm place for animals to hide when the weather got cold. Willow was the wisest tree. Her long, flowing branches draped gracefully over the forest stream. She provided a cool, calming place for animals to rest and drink water. Willow loved to whisper secrets to the wind, and her soothing presence brought peace to the forest. One day, a strong storm blew through the forest. The wind howled, and the rain poured down harder than ever before. Oak, Pine, and Willow knew they had to protect the forest and its animals. Oak stood tall and strong, shielding the smaller plants and creatures from the fierce winds. His thick branches acted as a barrier, keeping the animals safe. Pine used his height to watch over the forest, warning the animals of the storm's arrival. He shook his branches, sending out a message to the animals below, telling them to seek shelter. Willow bent her long branches over the stream, preventing the water from flooding the forest floor. She made sure that the animals had a safe place to stay during the storm. Together, Oak, Pine, and Willow protected the forest, each using their special abilities. When the storm finally passed, the forest was safe, and all the animals came out of their shelters to thank the trees. From that day on, the trees were known as the guardians of the forest. They showed everyone that by working together and using their unique strengths, they could overcome any challenge. Moral: everyone has something special to offer, and by working together, we can achieve great things. Friendship and cooperation make us stronger.
Once upon a time, in a vibrant forest, filled with towering trees and babbling brooks, lived a wise old owl named Oliver. Oliver was known throughout the forest for his wisdom and kindness. Animals would often come to him for advice and guidance. One sunny day, a young and stubborn squirrel named Robbie hopped into Oliver's hollow tree. Robbie was known for his impatience and refusal to listen to anyone.
Mr. Oliver, I want to grow the biggest carrot in the forest. Everyone will be amazed by my carrot.
Oliver nodded thoughtfully and asked,
Have you planted your carrot seeds in a sunny spot and watered them well?
I planted them where I always do, and I water them when I remember. But I don't have time to listen to advice. I want them to grow fast.
Oliver knew Robbie's seeds would need proper care, so he gently suggested,
Robbie, the best way to grow a healthy carrot is to give it plenty of water, sunshine, and patience. Sometimes, what we want quickly requires time and care.
I don't need advice. I know what I'm doing.
He hopped off, determined to prove Oliver wrong. Weeks passed, and Robbie's carrots were small and wilted. The other animals' gardens were flourishing, thanks to the advice they had followed. Disappointed, Robbie returned to Oliver's tree.
I did it my way, and it didn't work. What should I do now, Mr. Oliver?
Oliver smiled and said,
It's never too late to learn. Plant your seeds again, water them daily, and give them plenty of sunshine. Be patient, and soon you'll see them grow.
This time, Robbie listened. He tended to his garden with care and patience. Slowly but surely, his carrots began to grow, larger and healthier than ever before. Finally, when it was time to harvest, Robbie had the biggest carrots in the forest. He hopped back to Oliver, his arms full of his beautiful carrots.
You were right, Mr. Oliver. Thank you for your wisdom. I've learned that good things come with patience and care.
Oliver nodded, pleased to see Robbie's growth, both in his garden and in himself. Moral: patience and willingness to listen to advice can lead to great rewards. Good things often take time and care to flourish.
Welcome to the magical rainforest. Today we're joining our friends, Leo the leopard and Tara the toucan, on an exciting adventure filled with fun and fascinating facts about the rainforest. Are you ready? Let's go!
Hi there. I'm Leo the leopard. I love exploring the rainforest. There's always something new to discover.
And I'm Tara the toucan. With my colorful beak, I can spot the best fruits in the forest. Let's have some fun today.
Did you know that the rainforest has different layers? We're in the canopy layer right now, which is home to many animals and plants.
That's right. Look at all the beautiful birds and insects here. The canopy is like a big green roof for the rainforest.
And the trees here can grow really tall, up to 200 feet. It's like living in a giant green castle.
Now we're in the understory layer. It's darker and more humid here, but it's full of life.
Look at those colorful flowers. Many of them only bloom here in the understory.
And there are lots of insects and small animals that live in this layer. It's like a hidden world within the rainforest.
We've reached the forest floor. It's dark and damp, but very important for the rainforest ecosystem.
The forest floor is covered in leaves, and it's where all the nutrients go back into the soil. It helps new plants grow.
And look, there are mushrooms and ferns everywhere. Plus, you might find some cool animals like ants and beetles here.
Let's learn some fun facts about the animals that live in the rainforest.
Did you know that toucans like me have beaks that are lightweight but very strong? We use them to reach fruit on branches that are too small for us to land on.
And leopards like me are great climbers. We can carry our prey up into trees to keep it safe from other animals.
Rainforests are also home to monkeys, jaguars, sloths, and so many more amazing creatures.
Rainforests are incredibly important for our planet. They help produce the oxygen we breathe and provide a home for millions of species.
Rainforests also help regulate the Earth's climate and store a lot of carbon, which helps combat global warming.
And many of the medicines we use come from plants found in the rainforest. It's a treasure trove of natural resources.
It's time to say goodbye to our rainforest adventure. But remember, the rainforest is always there, full of wonders and surprises.
Thanks for joining us on this adventure. We hope you had fun and learned a lot about the rainforest.
Goodbye, friends. Keep exploring and learning about the amazing world around you.
In a vibrant meadow filled with colorful flowers, there was a buzzing hive where all the bees worked hard every day. Among them was a little bee named Buzzy. Buzzy wasn't the fastest or the strongest bee in the hive, but he had a big heart and always tried his best. Every morning, the bees would fly out to gather nectar from the flowers to bring back to the hive. The faster bees would zoom ahead, and the stronger bees would carry big loads of nectar. But Buzzy, with his small wings and gentle nature, would take his time, carefully choosing the sweetest flowers and making sure not to damage the delicate petals. One day, the queen bee called a meeting. She announced that the hive was in need of a new leader for the nectar-gathering team. The leader would have to be someone who could teach the younger bees how to collect nectar efficiently, while also protecting the flowers they relied on. Many bees were eager to be chosen. The fastest bee, Zoomer, was sure he would get the job because he could collect nectar faster than anyone. The strongest bee, Max, thought he would be chosen because he could carry the most nectar. But Buzzy just quietly hoped that whoever was chosen would be kind and fair. The queen bee decided to have a contest. Each bee had to gather nectar from the farthest field and bring it back without harming any flowers. The bee who could do this the best would become the leader. Zoomer zipped through the flowers, collecting nectar quickly, but in his rush, he left many flowers damaged. Max carried huge loads of nectar, but his heavy landings crushed the delicate blooms. Then it was Buzzy's turn. He flew gently from flower to flower, carefully collecting nectar without harming a single petal. It took him longer, but when he returned to the hive, his nectar was the sweetest, and the flowers in the field were still in perfect bloom. The queen bee smiled at Buzzy's careful work. "Buzzy," she said, "you may not be the fastest or the strongest, but you have shown great care and respect for the flowers that give us life. For that, you are the best bee for the job. You will lead the nectar-gathering team, teaching others how to do their work with kindness and care." The other bees cheered for Buzzy, who had never expected to be chosen. From that day on, Buzzy led the team, teaching them that it's not just about how much you do, but how well you do it. Under Buzzy's guidance, the hive flourished, with plenty of nectar and beautiful flowers to gather from. Moral: doing your best with kindness and care is more important than being the fastest or the strongest. True success comes from respecting the world around you and working with a big heart.